Good morning. Good day. Good evening, wherever you are. And wherever you are, this is where you are supposed to be. Allow yourself to be present in this moment. Welcome to Holy Ground Spiritual Center, Contemplative Meditation. I am Reverend Melissa McQueen-Simmons, the virtual pastor and spiritual director for Holy Ground Spiritual Center. It is my honor and pleasure to in a allow yourself to get centered wherever you are. Bring attention to how you are resting and being in this moment. This is an intentional time for you to rest, relax, reflect, and write. Even in the heartbeat of the summer, we need moments that we are intentional about resting, relaxing, reflecting, writing, resting again. So our contemplative meditation is that moment for you to do just that. I'm going to hit the chime 3 times and allow this vibration, this sound to move in your body. And if you need more vibration and more sound, I want to invite you to hum. The summer is a lot of people's favorite season. And even in the midst of the summer, we can get lost in everything moving around us and forget to bring attention to ourselves, our bodies, and our spirits. So for the next couple of minutes, you're going to bring attention to your breath, to your body, and to the essence of you that you need to make it through this summer, this next day, and this next minute. So for some of you who are new to meditation, the first thing you want to do is to create a space that feels like home, a space that feels sacred, a space that allows you to bring attention to just being present in this moment. Sometimes your space can include crystals. Sometimes your space can include music or sound. Sometimes incense or smoke is something that will allow you to have a space that creates the comfort of peace, creates an opportunity for listening. Meditation is different from prayer. And I believe all are necessary. So I'm going to I just lit an incense cone because I like to have a little smoke. And I like to have light. So you might want to light a candle. A candle may also work for you if you're into that. And I'm going to play some music in the background because sometimes everybody aren't comfortable with the silence yet. But there will be an opportunity later on where we will have a moment where we sit in the silence. So now that we have set our space and have it comfortable and feel home so we can listen to what our body is saying, to what our spirit is saying, even to how much energy we have. Let us move into this meditation. We are here. Some of us are on travel. Some of us have stayed in the place that we reside. Even as we are moving about this summer, know where your roots are. Know where you have planted your roots. What keeps you grounded? What reminds you who you are? What reminds you that you have everything you need? What are the tools that you know will get you from day to day, minute by minute, hour by hour? My friends, my family, holy grounders, those are the roots that's going to help you make it. Those are the roots that's going to remind you that you can stand, you can move, you can walk, you can make it through whatever comes your way. And it may not be as pretty as you desire, even in this heart of summer where colors are vibrant and bright and popping. But you too, with your values and remembrance of who you are and why you are here and what you do well is enough for you to pop out in the summer. And with so many things happening around us, we may feel stretched to family, stretched by friends, stretched by our jobs, our vocation, stretched by our children, stretched by the loss and the grief we've encountered. We may even be stretched or stressed by the happenings of this world. But just as you stretch out to the many things that you are a part of, and those that are part of you, know that your values, your core, your testimonies, the stories that you've heard by others that showed you that we as humanity can make it, can make a way out of no way, can move beyond the things that have tried to block us. You too can make it. We are stretched. And sometimes what stretches us is the very thing that make us move, is the very thing that brings attention to our dreams, to our hopes, to our purpose. And you do not have to do it alone. We are not meant to do anything alone. We have each other. And this quote by Asada Shakur says, any community seriously concerned with its own freedom has to be concerned about other people's freedom as well. Yes, we are moving about and exploring our summer. And as we enter into our justice quarter, we are reminded that there are so many things happening. There are so many people we can fight for. And at the core of anything that we fight for and do, we must think about each other. How do we help those who do not have a voice, do not have a seat at the table, or who do not have a table? Together we are stronger. Together we can make it. Together, many people say that, and a lot of people don't elaborate on together. Together is communication effectively. Together is creating space to be, to share, to be heard. Together is listening to all the voices, from our youth to our seasoned. Together is not being selfish. Wonderful things can happen to you and your body when you take a minute to reflect on how you can help somebody else. Right now, we're in a world where there's a lot of selfishness, a lot of greed, a lot of hate, a lot of deceit. And you do not have to be a part of that mix. You can be one with the foundation to help others thrive. You can do your part in community where others can be seen. Your people can be seen. If you are doing things for your people, that includes you too. We have the support of each other. What can people count on you to do? What can people count on you to do? You have to act as if it were possible to radically transform the world. And you have to do it all the time. Being an advocate for justice, being a listener to spirit of our mind and our body, being a part of humankind requires you to always listen to the many things around you, the voices you hear that you don't think are talking to you. It requires you to see beyond what you normally see. Being a listener in meditation allows you to hear what you wouldn't usually be able to hear if you are moving and busy and not taking the time to reflect, to rest, to write, and to relax. We are one of many in this world to just show up and be the beautiful, brilliant, bountiful, graceful, kind, loving being that we can be with the gifts that we have been given. It doesn't require much. If you do not know what gifts you have been given, I encourage you to ask the divine of your understanding. I encourage you to take a look at the prophets you follow and see if they offer advice. I invite you to just take a minute to rest and listen to what your heart say, to what your body is pulling you to do, and to what you know your angels, your ancestors, and your guides have shown you time and time again. You have everything you need to leave your mark in this space. Now is the time to think about what you will do. Now is not the time to count the days that we may have and for the summer, for our lives. But now is the time to make the days count. And for those of you who would like a writing prompt, I usually do it earlier. I'm about to give you the writing prompt now. I use empowering questions, and I'll just pull a card. This writing prompt can be useful for now or for the rest of this month. Sometimes having a writing prompt makes a space, intentional space for us to pause and listen. So here is our card. This is probably one of the longest cards I've seen. It says, "What is it that fascinates me so much?" Alone. What is it that fascinates me so much that of feeling the thought or feeling of it won't leave me alone? I'm going to add it to the screen. What is it that fascinates me so much that the thought or feeling of it won't leave me alone? I'm going to add this to the screen so those of you who would like to have a writing prompt can have this. And also, when we have our moment of silence, those of you who would like to have something to reflect on can reflect on this question. Or you can just listen and let Spirit speak to you. What is it that fascinates me so much that the thought of how do I put this feeling into action right now? Take a moment to reflect. Sometimes sitting in the silence allows our bodies and our minds to get a reset. So at this moment, we're going to just rest in the silence. And if the silence is uncomfortable for you, that's okay. Resting and sitting and laying and moving in silence requires some practice. And we can practice anytime as we practice now. Sit in the silence and listen to your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Listen to the sounds that your body is making. Start from your toe and move to the crown of your head to see if there's anything feeling different. The silence allows us to release and not be attached to stimuli that we are used to controlling us. Sometimes the silence will allow us to hear something that we may have forgotten to do. Sometimes the pause allow our bodies to catch up with our thoughts, with the many things that are happening around us. Our body sometimes is just pulled every which way. And sometimes our bodies need to also be in the stillness without the extra stimuli, without the extra stress, the extra pulling. And for some of us who seem to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, allow yourself to try to let something go right now. With the many weights and things happening in this world, we don't need to add anything else to our bodies, to our minds. Focus on right now. Focus on how you will continue to breathe and move in peace, in safety, and in community. These are what we need right now to live and be and feel alive. So if you feel like you need to dust your shoulder off, dust your shoulder off, do some rotations, roll your shoulders back. I tell my daughter we walk with our shoulders back and our head up in confidence. Shoulders back to release the pressure. Head up, eyes so we can see. ears open so we can hear, our heart open so we don't miss the blessings and miss what the universe is trying to give us. So we're going to rest in this moment of silence. I'm going to probably count to about 30 seconds. And take note of what you feel, what you hear, what your body does, where you drift off into thoughts. May we rest in this moment of silence now. You've taken 30 seconds of silence. If you are in need of prayer, reach out to Holy Ground and we will pray for you. I pray for those who follow us in my meditations and in my prayers always. And if you need a special prayer, reach out to us. If you are looking for a spiritual home, it would be an honor to be your spiritual director and your virtual pastor. For those of you who had this writing prompt, I hope you find what fascinates you. And I hope that you become alive. And for all of you all that are here listening, being present, sharing sacred space for our contemplative meditation, my hope and prayer is that you find something, as Howard Thurman says, that makes you come alive. Because what we need more than anything is for people to be among this land of the living, doing things that brings joy and hope and inspiration to others. And not only doing that for others, but as we do that for others, our hearts and our bodies and the very essence of who we are is in sync, is happy, is healthy, and holy with the W. Blessed be. Enjoy the rest of your journey. And thanks for joining Holy Ground for the Contemplative Meditation.